Hello, my name is Lee, and I will be discussing about the relationship between recruitment, training, redundancy and dismissal, and the business cycle. First, according to the business cycle, business will go through four stages. Start with expansion, and when the business is growing, then the peak is when the business is most successful, but it's also going to fall down to contraction, which is then the outputs are falling over time, and it the lastly is when the drought is when it's at the end of the recessions and the business starts to recover. So first, when the business is at the peak or contraction, when the business is at one of those two stages, it will start to reduce its staff or employees, which is called redundancy, because labor is very expensive in a company. And labor is the employees or workers in the business. So once the labor is decreased, then the cost would reduce and the business profit would increase. This is good for the business because one of the goal is to maximize shareholder wealth. Another way is to increase the sale. But in order to do this, the products or goods must have good quality. And the workers who are making these things must be very skilled to do this. Thus, they must go through a lot of training. As you can see, there are two ways of trainings: on the job and off the job. On the job training is when more experienced staff help the new people while they're working. Off the job training takes place outside of the business, and for this type of training, new employee workers don't come to work until they finish their training. This training can take place at a nearby college or within the workplace. Off-the-job training is more expensive, so companies usually pick off-the-job training is usually expensive, so the business usually pick on-the-job training. Next is when business is at one of these two stages, they tend to recruit more employees because the business will grow larger in the future. Many companies also need to recruit new workers when a number of staffs are dismissed, or for breaking the rules, or when staff are redundant. The company would have to figure out what the position is needed for new people, and then find some people and finally select one or two of them. After recruitment, these new people at the business will need to be trained before they start working or during their works. Same as mentioned above, training can be very expensive, so business usually choose the cheaper way of training, which is on-the-job training. Finally, all of these things, recruitment, training, redundancy, and dismissal, are done by the Human Resources Department of the company. Thank you for listening.